Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm Blitz5. So if you've been playing League of Legends recently or watching the LCS, you might have noticed that some top laners are taking Smite, creating this double Smite team comp. So this is a mistake. This person isn't by accidentally picking Smite. They're doing this on purpose, and it's for two main reasons. I'll just go over them quickly so we can move on to the next topic. So the reason why they're doing this is for Bami's Cinderhulk, the tanky jungle item, which is basically like a Sunfire cape but has a better build path, and also for the Skirmisher's Saber, which is the second item of the machete. So in order to build the jungle item, you need to have Smite. They kind of go hand in hand. So people are sacrificing having a flash or a exhaust, and they're running maybe teleport, Smite in the top lane. So they're doing this because once they build this, they can Smite in lane and push the lane, or it gives you other benefits, like you have better jungle control, right? If you're doing dragon, you have a second Smite. But once you get the Skirmisher Saber, when you Smite an enemy champion, it actually reduces their damage by 20% and makes you a better duelist, so then you can kind of push your lane and win as a top lane. So it's just a great overall strategy, even though you might lose out on a summoner's skill like Flash. So I've been noticing this a lot lately, and it's really nice. Tanks are in the meta right now, but I thought, I'm surprised everyone is building the Skirmisher Saber. You're seeing this a lot in the LCS, and the LCS players are really good. They're really good at dueling. They're aggressive players, and they're really great at playing the game. But for me, when I play jungle, going back to the original reason why this item should be being built, I like to build the Stalker's Blade. So for me, that has always been a better thing. It's almost like a mini exhaust. And actually, if you look at the statistics, the Stalker's Blade gives you a 20% speed reduction, when exhaust gives you a 30% speed reduction. So this actually is almost like an exhaust. And the Smite can hold up to 2 charges at a time, even though there is a small cooldown in between. I think that at some point it gets almost to be like 15 seconds or 14 seconds once you've used one Smite. So then you can get 2 pretty rapid exhausts off in a row, or maybe one like drawn out team fight later in the game. So to me, this is an awesome option, and it made me think, what can we do with this? So I thought, what about if we put Smite in the bot lane on a semi-tanky support like Thresh or Leona, and then they can build into the Cinderhulk, do the Sunfire damage to nearby enemies right from the Cinderhulk, and then they also have the Smite to be in mini exhaust. So I started thinking about this a little bit more when I started playing League of Legends in Season 4. Sometimes it was common in the beginning of Season 4 for some supports to take Smite with the jungler or instead of the jungler, because Smite wasn't as good back then and the jungle was completely different, and the support was closer to the dragon at all times than the jungler was, so it would give the bot lane more control of the dragon. So I tried this out in the game. I've only played one game in it so far, but it worked out really well. It's awesome. If you're having trouble in your lane, the Smite can help you take out minions, and then once you upgrade it, you have these mini exhausts that are great, and it does give you better control of the dragon. So these things did really work out. Although the build path is kind of funky, if you're trying to build this with a gold item, a support item, and Sightstone, it's hard to get the money to do this all at the same time. So I would recommend doing a gold item like Relic Shield, and then doing a mix of the Sightstone and the Cinderhulk item, because you want to get that Smite to have the the Stalker's Blade, because you want to have that exhaust, and then then finish off Cinderhulk. So it's kind of hard to balance it out, but if you're doing okay in lane and you're not losing lane, this definitely could be a build path for you, even if it takes a little while. I think it's really good. And then the passive is really great with Relic Shield and Cinderhulk, because you're kind of stacking off health. And at one point in the game here, I think I only had, I'm not looking at it right now exactly, but I think I only had 2 or 3 full items and a Sightstone, and I was already getting 400 extra health, more than 400 extra health off my Cinderhulk health passive, okay? And then I could use my Relic Shield and put a shield on someone else with my health, and that does damage after it explodes and protects them. So that's a really great combination of having the two, and it's only one active still, which I really like, and it really helped in the game. I could see this being really successful, and it's less risky because in the bot lane there's already 2 people. You can still take Flash, like I said, you're just skipping exhaust, and then you still have the ADC run like a heal as an escape. And especially when you're playing with Thresh, you have the Flay and the Hook and your ultimate to kind of get you out of sticky situations. So it's really safe to do this. even if you're, not getting a lot of gold quickly or leveling up that fast. So I think this is a great strategy. I think you might see this getting adopted later. I think the Stalker's Blade is a really underrated item. I use it almost all the time on all my junglers because I like to have that little exhaust feature. It helps just set up ganks. It's a really great underrated smite, and right now I think that the jungle item is definitely overpowered, but while it is, it's definitely important to use this. So if you haven't, definitely give this a try in the top lane. Some good characters to try this with would be like Shyvana, maybe a Scion, or even a Hecarim top could maybe use this kind of thing because they all have escapes and good CC, right? Like Scion has great CC, get out of situations, he can ult away if he doesn't have flash. Hecarim has his E, which you can use instead of flash. And then the bot lane, if you're going to try this strategy like I did, I would recommend Thresh, Blitzcrank, or Leona, but you can't play super aggressive as Leona early on because then you won't have any disengage or way to get away after you burn your abilities. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, find it useful. I thought it was pretty interesting and definitely a little overpowered. Thanks for watching, guys. Blitz5, I'm out.
Good game, scrubs.
Easy.